You are listening to Revealing Real Estate Podcast, where we dive into getting over your fear of taking risk in real estate and making money while you sleep. I'm Nick Oppedisano, your host and real estate guru with over 20 years of experience. It's time to get real. All right, welcome back to Revealing Real Estate. Today I'm actually going to be the host, the co-host, and just kind of sit here and basically rant about a subject that's been kind of lingering on within my mind, and a frustration that with the LTB, the Landlord Tenant Board, and I'm not understanding. You know, there's a lot of tenants abusing the system, I feel, right now, and I know it's a big controversial topic when it comes to landlord and tenant disputes. And when it comes to those disputes, the tenants, man, right now are having quite a bit of rights just because of the backlog through the pandemic and the COVID situation that was going on, where everybody was applying to the board because at the time during the pandemic, people or landlords were not allowed to evict tenants from properties. And now there is such a backlog with the Landlord Tenant Board that before you're able to get a court date in front of the board, it takes literally 6 to 7 months to actually get an eviction notice for somebody who's not paying their rent. And I just don't understand that. And it's flabbergasting to me why, especially in this modern day time, why things take so long to deal with. And I have many landlords right now dealing with these certain situations that they currently have a property that they've invested in. They have high mortgages, and with the assumption that every landlord has a lot of money and that they are able to carry the properties, or it's a risk that they are getting involved with when it comes to making investments, and that's their choice. And it is something that I really don't agree with and doesn't sit well with me. And one of those reasons why I believe the laws from this perspective are a little lopsided and in favor to one side, and it is really annoying, is because there's a lot involved when it comes to investing as a landlord. And when people take risks to get within the market and put people inside their properties that they own with their hard work and downstroke that they've put on that property, to qualify for a mortgage, making sure that they maintain good credit and work very hard to save for generations worth of wealth within real estate. And to have the law so lopsided in favor to a tenant that is not paying their rent, and majority of the reasons is why tenants get evicted today is that they don't cover the cost of their rent to their fault of majority of their own. Makes no sense why this process takes so long, because look at the process of a landlord right now. If he wanted to evict it, even if he wants to sell his own property, and I've talked about this on a previous live show, Revealing Real Estate, that I host every Tuesday at 4 o'clock on Instagram. If you need to evict a tenant because you want to sell the property, the laws actually stipulate today that you're not allowed to evict that tenant unless the buyer is actually moving into that property for themselves or a relative. If the tenant is even late payment of rent, you can file, which is called an N4 form, I believe it is, that will evict a tenant for a late payment of rent. But if they catch up on that late payment of rent, then they're able to maintain the status quo and continue to live inside that property and continue to move forward. And I understand why the government is doing this. I understand why the laws are the laws, because at the end of the day, they don't want to make it their problem. Because when you have people that end up, looking for places that right now, which is overly populated and demand is really high and there's a lack of supply, well, whose issue does it really become? It becomes the government's issue. It becomes a landlord and tenant board's issue. And what they have done is now push that issue over towards the landlord, who's taking all the financial risk when it comes into evicting somebody or putting somebody within their property. We as landlords, and the clients that I currently have as landlords, make a lot of investment and already as well put a lot of risk, especially within markets, because there's no guaranteed, especially coming out of the market that we came from, that markets will continue to go up and they could come down. There's already a lot of risk factors in there. If I own a house and it's my home that I've purchased with my hard work and savings, or my clients have purchased a house and move in a tenant inside that property, why is it not their right if that tenant is being a delinquent and not paying their rent for one reason or another, or creating or causing issues inside that property, or in breach of their contract for some particular reason? Why is it their right that they still have that option to maintain, to living within inside that property, a property that I have owned or my clients have owned, that put their hard work in capital inside that property to continue making investments? Why has it become so difficult for the mistakes of our government by not having enough surplus or supply on the market to support that demand that's in there, especially when you're feeding the flow of immigration at one of the highest rates that were ever reported with inside the GTA or inside the country right now?
Enjoying this episode? Subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment down below to let us know what you want to learn next. Make sure you're following our Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date on our new episodes every Friday.
It's backwards. It doesn't make sense. And I want to go on a little rant just because it is annoying and it is frustrating. And I'm seeing issues that I have certain clients right now that are being forced into foreclosure because they can't afford to pay the mortgage that their tenant, who's not paying their rent, can't afford to live inside the property that they currently own because the rental rates are too high. And we're talking where the landlord has gone through all the main components of screening that tenant: credit checks, employment letters, job letters, old references from previous landlords, income statements, everything that we need to do as real estate agents to protect our clients so that they don't fall within these issues, are starting to develop more and more often than we really understand, because we see it. Like, what people don't understand a lot is what we see as real estate agents is a lot of the back end issues that take place. It's funny what the media will portray or what gets put out there in the market to sell commercials and make sure that they create a lot of attention to their network. But at the end of the day, the truth be told, and look at what they do regarding the real estate market, that the market is crashing, that historically, yes, interest rates have gone up, but home prices are continuing to go down. Right now, with the lack of inventory and no supply, there's still a huge demand. Homes are still selling above asking price, right? And there's no product out there currently, to the fault again of our government that is bringing in all this immigration and not being prepared enough for the amount of demand that's currently out there on the market. That is the duty of our government, to make sure that there is enough supply to support Canadians and Canadian citizens who are hardworking Canadian citizens to go out there and, number one, making housing more affordable, making homes for tenants more affordable, not creating all this controversy and issues that are currently existing in today's day and time or in our marketplace. And right now, when you gotta go and get a 6 or 7 month wait to evict somebody, do you know what that is doing for people that can't afford to continue to carry on that mortgage, and also the mortgage that they're currently living in their primary residence? Why? Because they had some extra capital that they wanted to invest into a very secure market, but now can't keep that property because they can't afford to make 2 payments, one on their primary residence and now on that investment. Do you know what is happening with the government now with these foreclosures and these power of sales, forcing people to now put their properties up and allow the banks to take over because tenants have so much rights out there currently within the market to get an eviction? They know their rights today. It's public information. How can somebody carry their property for 6 or 7 months knowing that they currently have a mortgage on their property? Do you know how many people can today, especially with interest rates? It's difficult enough with the cost of goods and supplies out there currently within the market that this is creating a bigger problem. And something needs to be done. And the Landlord and Tenant Board need to start moving their ass so that they can either hire some more staffing and allow this process to be expedited a little bit quicker so that resolutions can start happening at a much quicker pace than they are now, because there are a lot of people out there currently that are renting, taking advantage of the system, and it's not fair, and something needs to be done and something needs to be said. So I'm here, and that's just one real topic that I really just wanted to go and discuss, because I feel that, it's just not right. And it's not fair. And I wanted to really express that. And that's just been a big part of my concern. So I just want to say thank you all for listening to this Revealing Real Estate episode. This is just one of Nick's special rants on it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And let's hope something can get done about it. And to all you landlords out there right now that are currently struggling through this issue, give me a call. We'll definitely be able to help you through this matter. But good luck with it and carry and run through the process. Respect you all. Talk to you soon.
Looking to buy or sell? Call a team you can trust. Don't believe me? Our Google reviews say it all. Put us on your lawn, your house will be gone. TheOPteam.com.